Junction City Today fans. Craig Bielik, your host, as always, right here. We've got an exciting episode today because we're talking about fairies. Ooh, fairies. Our guest is Laura Ratliff. This is Laura right here. And she owns a business called
Fairy La La Land.
Fairy La La Land. Right. Laura's originally from Australia, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And she's got a bunch of other things going, too, that we might touch on. But first off, what is Fairy La La Land? What is that business?
Well, just as it sounds, it is absolutely magical. The fairies live in a place called La La Land, which is in the sky and underneath the rainbow. Now, we do specialize in children's entertainment.
Wow, do the buses run there? I mean, can I get there? Is it Route 7?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not a land, but you bring the land to them. Isn't that right?
Correct, yeah. We are mobile, so we go to events and we perform and bring the magical world of La La Land to children. So we make them happy doing magic, face painting, balloon twisting, and it's very interactive for the kids. So basically, the adults can relax and enjoy the day as well.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? I like the adults relaxing, but I also like Fairy La La Land. I mean, so I imagine you do a lot of birthdays.
We do,
like corporate events.
Correct.
Like, have you been doing a lot of Christmas parties?
We do so many. We bring the Christmas experience to people's homes, events, or wherever it is, and make the Christmas cheer appear. So yeah, we do birthday parties, christenings, bat mitzvahs, lots of different events.
Funerals.
Well, actually, never done that.
That's a horrible thing for Craig to say. I'm sorry. And she's like, I thought this was a dignified show. All that kind of stuff. How did you get into this? Were you just sitting at home one day and thought, I need to create a Fairy La La Land?
Well, I was actually an actress at the time, and I wanted to get a little bit more work. So I took a job as a fairy for another company, and I absolutely loved it. I was getting so many repeat business and referrals that I decided to create my own show and do some magic and puppetry. I love comedy, and I love to infect children with laughter and things like that. So, so I created my own script. I just really know how to sort of work a room, and now I'm teaching entertainers around Australia and in Salt Lake City how to entertain children and keep their attention for the full hour or 2 hours. So.
Yeah, I need to learn that for my grandchildren alone, for them alone. Hey, what I was wondering, though, is I imagine you're scalable. So you could do like a birthday party for 20 people or a big gathering for 200, right?
Correct. We have phone calls from so many different size events, and basically if there's, say, 40 children, we will send in 2 entertainers. So everyone performs the same La La Land script, and it's very exciting and very action-packed. The kids are on their feet, down, up, down the whole time.
So you've tried and tested this thing, and you know that it works, right?
I've done the legwork, so all of my entertainers don't have to do the what not to do's.
What not to do, right? Right. I've made every mistake you can make. I've learned. Trust me.
That's correct.
Well, first off, let's get your website up here on the screen.
Yes.
FairyLaLaland.com.
Correct.
And people can go there, I imagine, and see sort of a little bit about your script. Do you have video and everything posted there? Or?
We do have video. We also have a YouTube show, Fairy La La Land, for children. So when the mums and dads are cooking something in the kitchen, put the Fairy La La Land show on and experience some magic and puppetry.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it all. How do you find people to be the fairies and that sort of thing? And do people call and ask for a certain fairy, or do people want? They probably want Elsa because that's Frozen, right? Right now, that's real popular.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, we do the Fairy La La Land characters, so we have created our own characters.
Oh, okay. So you're not bringing Jasmine and Snow White and all that. You've got your own.
We do. So Fairy La La lives in La La Land, and that's how. And she has her friends, Pirate Wigglebottom, Superhero Dave, and Princess Lulu, and so they all go on adventures together. So whether you have a live event or watch us on YouTube, it's always a fun adventure filled with magic and song and dance. So the people who work with me are usually high energy or actors who want to sort of get into the character, maybe some cosplay people who love to wear characters and learn scripts and then perform it to children so that they can the children can come on a journey with us. So
Sure.
that's the idea.
Sure. And I imagine it's hard for most people to imagine, but I imagine that there are actors who are not getting as much work as they'd like. And so this is an opportunity for them to ply their trade.
Well, that's my journey. And so there's so many other actors out there that are just dying to put their energies and their acting skills into a script and do something that's going to be very important. So remember, these 3, 4-year-olds, 5-year-old children will remember this experience for the rest of their lives. So
Yeah, they really will.
Yeah.
And it's cute. It's fun for adults. It's fun to watch them interact.
Oh my goodness. When the Fairy Lala characters like the pirates and superheroes leave the event, it's so funny because we always say, see you in La La Land. And then the adults just laugh. They think it's so funny because, we're in La La Land all the time, right?
La La Land's better than work, kid. Trust me on that kind of stuff. Have you ever done a party just strictly for adults?
Actually, we have done a couple. There was a 40-year-old lady who was having her 40th, and so she invited all of her friends over, and we created a fairy party for her. She'd never had a fairy party, so we created the dream come true and kind of turned into like a bachelorette, if you get what I mean, party. It was lots of laughter, and they loved the magic tricks as well, so it was fun.
So do you develop your own costumes and everything? And your props?
They're
and
all
those sorts of
licensed to
things?
Fairy La La Land. So the Fairy La La character you see on YouTube is the hot pink fairy. So if you book a Fairy La La character in Australia or in the US, then you'll receive a hot pink fairy.
It's probably hard to just tell me right off the cuff, but like about what does this cost? Like if I have a party for, let's say, 25-year-olds, what's that going to cost? Or,
Okay, sure. Well, it does depend on how many people, what you'd like, the service and so forth. But our prices do start at $150 and they go up from there. So we do customize events for the different type of events.
$150 is pretty cheap entertainment. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
Like if you took all those kids to a movie, and they're not going to like it, and you're buying popcorn, and they're crying and stuff. But if you've got fairies there, that's really, really fun.
Correct. And the adults get to enjoy it too. They just all relax and enjoy the journey that we're bringing for not only the children, but the family get to connect and bond, and that's what we're all about.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. So I just have to ask you, how did you make it from Australia to Salt Lake City? Take a wrong turn or something?
Well, my wedding ring says the story. My wedding ring, the design is called Bridge Over Water. So my husband built the bridge from the U.S. to Australia, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's a big old bridge. I mean, that had to use all kinds of trees. I don't know what that is. What is that? Like 7,000 miles?
It's a long way. It's close to 24 hours in a plane, so it's a long way. But no, my husband, we connected through business, and then that's the story, and it's a long story, but it's a good one. We just had an instant connection, and we're all about positivity, the human connection in business. He speaks on the same positive things, and so the first time we met, we were talking for an hour and a half, and it was supposed to be 15 minutes. So
wow, that's charming. That's a great story. Okay, one more time, let's put your website up here.
Okay.
Fairy La La Land. And I mean, we talked quite a bit, but is there anything we didn't cover? Did Craig forget to ask you a question? Something like that.
Well, it's funny because I built my business because I just love to perform to children, and 9 years later, I'm now teaching entertainers how to do the same thing in the US and Australia. And about a year ago, I really discovered that I really need to be giving back in a different sort of way. So I entered the Mrs. Australia International Competition, and now I'm a finalist for February 2020. So I'll be flying down to Australia to compete for the title, and then hopefully that will take me to Mrs. International in July 2020 in Tennessee.
Wow, we're going to do a whole other show about that.
I can't wait.
I really promise. So this is Laura Ratliff, and she's with Fairy La La Land, and this is the website one more time. She would love to come out. What's the one thing, if you had one piece of advice for someone who's trying to entertain children, what would it be?
Connect. Really be your silly inner self and just bring that out, because the children just love to enter a magical world. So if you can create that through your own silliness, then you'll be able to connect and have a great event, whatever that may be.
Right. I can't be silly. That's just
Yes,
something
you can. Just be yourself.
I'm always silly. People that watch the show are like, are you kidding me? Oh, well, as usual, we have had a great time talking with Laura Ratliff about Fairy La La Land. There is the website right there. Laura would love to come out and do your party. She would love to make your company event a serious hit with the children this summer, this winter, whenever you can. Check her out. Fairy La La Land, my guest, Laura Ratliff. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you so much.
This is fun. You and I could talk all day.
We could. We'd have a great time.
We really could. We'll see all of you guys next time on Junction City Today. Hopefully you'll be watching the next show we're going to do with Laura, so stay tuned.